Okay, everybody, good evening and welcome to Trek Central Weekly, if that's what we're called. Hello, Sohail. Hello, Tex Trek. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
The delay there for a second, I thought, have I muted them? I was like, oh, here we go. We've broken
I'm doing
already.
really great too.
Just some subspace interference, you know?
Yeah, that's what we call it.
I'm excited what our fearless leader will bring in the realm of chaos today.
Going to pick parts of the Federation and take it, Right. As a quick announcement, by the way, we were meant to have a special guest today. We did line up Mr. Terry Matalas to speak to us. However, due to New York Comic Con scheduling, he's unable to make it right now. He may join us through the stream if possible. If not, we'll have him next week and we can talk all the Star Trek goodness. So stick around. He may join us. But Terry did cover some of this time to meet us. But however, scheduling just overran. So you know what it's like. It's a very busy weekend at New York Comic Con. You've got the whole cast for Next Gen down there. I'd be in the bar if it was him personally. But hey ho, it's going well down there. How are you guys doing? How's your New York Comic Con weekend been? You've not been there, but how's it been?
This is the most exciting Comic-Con I've experienced to date. It was very cool. I thought Star Trek showed up in a really nice way. I'm so jealous of everyone who has a Murph plushie.
We got two. And I'll sell one to you for a high price.
Ooh, okay.
You and Tex can start the bidding. The bidding starts at £10 and a drink.
Actually, I have 10 bars of gold pressed latinum here, Jack. That's a little bit, that might be worth more than 10
We get
pounds.
to keep a small commission for hosting the auction, like we'll give a percentage of the proceeds to the Bajoran War Orphan Fund, but yeah, we got to get our cut too.
It's the greatest scam ever in that one was that Bajoran War Fund.
But think about the poor orphans.
The latest DS9
like...
things. I don't have any ethics. It's like, I don't have ethics. Yes, you do.
But I feel like Fathery, he said this earlier, and it's like, I was definitely expecting something cool from Picard, but we also got cool stuff from the other shows. We got something more than I was expecting from Disco, and that exciting Prodigy first look for the second part of the season is really cool too, or trailer rather, I should say.
Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff. I mean, obviously Picard, people are just dying to see that third season. Such anticipation, but Discovery looks like they're still rocking and rolling with season 5, and then I'm very hyped for Prodigy, so lots of cool stuff coming up soon.
Oh, by the way, audience, thank you for being so warm and welcoming, but if you could, there's 72 folks watching, so please hit the like button because there's only 32 likes right now, so we could use those likes to confound that YouTube algorithm.
I'm going to do a poll and say which trailer was best. And I want people to... Oh, balls, I missed that Discovery. I missed that Prodigy. Yes. Well, okay, that was a short poll there, Jack. Apparently, if you press enter, it auto-completes now. God damn it.
Well, Jack is figuring out how to get YouTube functional.
Jack can't spell.
Yeah, I'm curious. What was the highlight for most people of the 3 shows, 3 trailers? I
think for me, it was definitely Picard. And then after that Prodigy, and then Discovery, but it's in the order of of meat that we got. So I think we got the most
YouTube,
meat for
stop being annoying. I'm trying to put a poll in, it won't let me do it. There we go, problem solved. Look, in my defense, right?
Yay!
For yesterday,
got it.
For yesterday, I was up at 10:30 in the morning. And I finished work at 4 a.m. in the morning and went to bed then. I uploaded a trailer and thought, balls if it gets copyright striked, it's going up. And I woke up at 10:30, I was like, oh, here we go again. Oh, it's been a jam-packed weekend. Like, the reels we've been putting out have been really fun, to be fair. Like, TJ's been on the ground side. She's been filming, doing a fantastic stuff. So TJ, our assistant editor here at Trek Central, she's been our reporter in the field. We've obviously had Jacob, our comics book master, out there as well. And you've got myself, Dominic, who have been here at HQ, along with editor Troy and a freelance editor, Matthew, who have been bringing you all the fantastic videos over the weekend. And it's been a busy operation. I can't wait. Me and TJ was on the phone. She's in the press room, and we're just catching up. Mission Seattle's going to be fun. Like, we've had a lot of fun covering New York Comic Con for the Star Trek community, and hopefully people have appreciated our coverage of it as well, because looking at what we can do for Mission Seattle, I'm changing accents here, bloody hell, we're going to smash it completely, and it's going to be very much fun. So if you come to Mission Seattle or any further Star Trek events throughout next year, expect to see us running around with a camera crew like we're on acid, and do come and talk to us, because we're not scary, I promise, and I want friends.
I'll definitely talk to you guys. I'll be there at Mission Seattle.
You have to talk to us. You're part of the team.
I do. Yeah, it's true. And then we might be auctioning Starfleet Boy off on a date. Well. No, just
what are those like really crap dating shows called? Give me like a really crap dating show name.
The dating game.
The data game. There we go.
The Love Boat is going to be a game show now, right? Or it's a reality show. But
I don't know. You're asking the wrong
also
person,
streaming on Paramount Plus with
Jerry O'Connell and Rebecca Romaine.
Jerry O'Connell. So yeah.
Hey, I'm
Star Trek adjacent.
Do you reckon that's available in the UK? Because Discovery won't be. Sorry, yeah. So,
what's the deal with that? I saw a little blurb on that.
So we was looking into it. So obviously Discovery Season 5 is currently in active production. We'll talk a bit about the trailer later on, but we're going to give some details first. So Discovery Season 5 is in active production right now. They're still filming even right this weekend. So Sonequa Martin Green had to virtually beam into New York Comic Con as she was filming that morning for Discovery. So those people work around the clock, so keep that in mind. But apparently it's not going to be available on Paramount Plus in the UK, only via Pluto TV, the streaming service, even though we have Paramount Plus here in the UK. And I'm like, like, why are you doing this to us? Paramount, please. We will reach out and get further clarification from them, but obviously Paramount are being really slow to respond to the emails at the minute because their press department's through the wall. But yeah, we will see it. Tim, thank you for your donation of £20 for your work in the early hours this morning, guys. Thank you, Tim. It's greatly appreciated. Honestly, me and TJ were going for a lot of tweets at the weekend. We've smashed our social media sort of like targets this week. It has been fantastic. Like, the Picard trailer we tweeted has got 3,000 likes on it. Some of Jack's shitposting tweets have got over 1,000 likes on it. Like, I'm looking forward to doing my memoirs on social media management, because I'm happy to say without zero teaching, we've managed to pull it off, which is quite nice. Bollocks of social media courses, just tweet crap. There you go, Captain Jack 2022. At the 2 on the end.
I'm still trying to master shit posting, so you gotta teach me the ways.
Did you like my? Did you see the Entertainment Weekly panel? So I'm sitting in a weird position here.
I watched all 9 minutes of it, and it was hilarious. They're so fun.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. I would pay just to watch them like interact with each other.
Somebody give Marina Sirtis a podcast, because she's hilarious. Yes. I want more of that.
Yes.
Like, listening to her on the panel, pissed yourself. Like, out of excitement, it was great. I loved it. No, the Entertainment Weekly one. Great. Just like, Patrick, we're gonna drop the F-bomb, and just Patrick shaking his head, and Frakes going, let's get the fuck out of here, and everyone leaves. Also, Michael Dorn doing a fashion segment, like, and the shoes. For some reason, I've got him saying, and the shoes in my head now. Like, I've got a pair of shoes down here, but.
And Sir Patrick Stewart holding the microphone upside down in the beginning.
He's a serious Shakespearean actor. What do you mean?
Marina says, he's old.
No, do you not hear it well? Like, when he got around, you get to hear her go, oh, Jesus Christ, Patrick. I loved it. Also, thank you to everyone who's becoming members, by the way. I see your little symbols in the chat there. A lot of Tim, we've got as a member. Jill47, thank you so much for your support. We are going to be expanding our memberships program very soon here on YouTube, so if you want to get involved in it, one thing I'm going to announce it now. We've not agreed to doing it yet, but I'm going to announce it so you guys can hold me to it. We're going to do some behind the scenes things regarding the channel. So I think every month you'll get a little update on how the channel develops. If you guys would like to see something like that, let me know in the chat now, because I can see your messages. If you'd like to see something like that, it'd be very fun, because we're going to give you behind the scenes on how Trek Central works. So from construction videos, recording stuff, to event trips like New York, to panel coverage, you're going to see what it's like actually running this brand as it becomes a larger part of the company. And I think it's been really fun. Like, I hope it's going to give you an insight into what goes on behind the scenes. We don't sit around and talk about Star Trek all day. Well, we do, but like, we're a bit more constructive about it. I frequently walk into the kitchen and have a chat with Editor Troy about like what theory I've cracked on this week, or who's annoying me this week, like corporate wise. So it's quite fun. So we're going to try and vlog it and like keep up to date and inform people what it is. So when people are YouTube members, they'll be able to see it, sort of like a behind the scenes thing, and we can also show like when I take phone calls of you guys and stuff, and bother you with things.
Speaking of which, Chuck A just became a member. Welcome to
thank you,
Cadet.
Chuck.
So excellent.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, very nice.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
So we should do like at Mission Seattle, we should do like the Trek Central members gathering and just have like a private bar.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We'll just stick 500 quid behind the bar. Well, hey, there we go, you know. Terms and conditions, the amount will be specified at a later date.
Give us a shout out if any of y'all are in Miami, Florida, because we'll do a away mission Trek Central here in Miami. I'll host a little event at a bar if you guys are in Miami, any of y'all.
Yeah, there you go. He's done a bar invite everyone quickly. If you're in the UK as well, I'll come to Bristol for a piss up. Well, hey, no. Hey, I said to Terry,
no
we
one's
should have got
going
him
to
here.
Bristol.
What do you mean no one's going to Bristol? It's better than your shitty cities over there.
Hey,
Austin, man, I can't get people to stop coming to Austin.
Hang on a
like
minute.
half of California lives here now.
You say Bristol was bad. I thought Austin froze earlier this year. Like, wasn't that a pretty bad event where like the power grid failed or something?
Yeah, that was last year, and that was like the entire state of Texas. But other than that, unless there's strange weather phenomenon, it's not too bad living
To be
here.
fair, I can't say much.
It's hotter than hell, and
the UK is falling
we're
apart as
infested
we
with
speak.
bats.
The UK is falling apart as we speak. In 2 weeks, the new Prime Minister has seen the Queen die, the economy's gone to shit, and she's blamed something else. And she's only been in power for 10 days at that point. Everything has just gone downhill and hill. You know, Star Trek's dark dystopian future, I heard that was based on the UK in 2022.
Oh, man.
We're getting political. Right, I'm gonna change the pace of this conversation. Hold there right a second.
Probably a good idea.
I need to get something off the shelf.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, I'm starting to look like a mad scientist because my hair keeps going everywhere. Gentlemen, this ship is now canon. You guys can't see it because my camera's on. It's
No,
canon.
I can see it.
Everybody, can I get an 07 in chat? Type 0707 or no 07 for
1701 F.
yeah. Just
Can we get it?
just type random bollocks in the chat because look, the Odyssey, how sexy this thing is, and also what a lovely crisp camera this is. Thank you to Trek Girls pointing out. Look at that model. This is an Eagles model, by the way. Maybe rest in peace. But look at this. The Enterprise-F. I was going to call it the D there for a second because I'm not concentrating. The Enterprise-F is now canon. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? And look, autofocus.
Yeah, it's a really
Hey,
nice model.
I knocked everything on the floor while doing that. So please do talk more about
If
the
you go
Enterprise-F.
if you go to Thomas, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but Thomas Maroney or Marone, what's that?
I keep knocking stuff on the floor when I move.
Oh.
carry on,
If you go to his website, he has a cool 3D thing where you could turn the Enterprise, you could zoom Enterprise F, you could zoom into it, like the version they have on Star Trek Online.
I've got
For
another
people who don't know
detail
who
for
you're
you.
talking about, he designed the Odyssey
Yes.
class for Star Trek Online. There was a
Yes.
if you don't know the backstory on that, there was a competition who will design the new Enterprise for the computer game Star Trek Online. They had fans submit their designs, and he won, so he got to.
No, Thomas.
Adam-
No, Thomas didn't win. Yeah, that
Adam
was
Isle
sorry.
designed. Adam
Adam.
Isle designed the Enterprise-F,
Yeah.
and Thomas.
Adam
Thomas
brought it to
Who's,
life,
who's
I guess.
the
I'm sorry,
Maroney
Thomas
guy?
brought it to life.
He's the one who actually makes it in game, but Adam Isle's the
Okay.
visual designer.
Yeah.
There you go.
He works at STO,
Okay.
and he's been responsible for like
Easy
bringing these
confusion,
ships
easy
to
confusion.
the screen. Yeah.
So I've got another
Anyways.
little behind-the-scenes thing for you, by the way. So while I this got in the mail yesterday. This is the Star Trek Adventures book by Modius Entertainment. Now, in this new book, a couple of weeks ago, a month ago now, an updated render appeared of the Odyssey class, and I'm trying to bloody open it so I can show it to you, and you can tell it's new. Got a nice book smell in it. I swear I'm not a maniac sniffing a book. We'll look through it. And
Although they
Jackson,
do books smell nice usually.
I prefer magazines personally when it comes to sniffing books.
Yeah, that's a nice smell too.
Well, there you go. Look, it's on the first page. So we've got the Odyssey. Jack's giving like a live book review here. By the way, who's talking through the Trek Yards account? Is it Sam or Stewart? Which one? We got Odyssey here. Look, and also
it's
the
Sam.
Vesta
It's
here.
Sam.
Oh, hi Sam. When are we getting you on here again? The Odyssey's on here. Look, which is very nice. We've got the Vesta class as well.
That's very nice.
So
is this like a size chart too? Is that serving as like a size chart, or no?
think
It's just kind of like an
no,
illustration.
it might be because the Ross and Galaxy there and Excelsior. Anyway, so basically this book came out, and I'm going to quickly flip through it and find it for you. I think it's on page like 200 or something. So bloody we've got a Meiji class here. It's very nice. So I'm going to get bored now. This is now turned into a Jack will read a book to you. Story times with Trek Central. We've got a Freedom class. We've got the Voyager, the Intrepid, the Saber, the Vesta. I think I've gone too far. Bollocks. Go back. Prometheus, Luna. anybody know what page it's on? Anyway, this book came out a month or two ago, and it included an updated render of the Odyssey class. I've gone too far. I've gone to small craft. Oh, bloody hell. And it included an updated render. There it is. He's found it. It included this updated render of the Odyssey class here. Ta-da! See, look, it's really nice. Sam sounds very flirty there by saying what uniform you can turn up in, but I'll take you off on it. This is the Odyssey class. Now, this included a lovely updated render of it, and many of us got very carried away and said, "Well, hey, they're bringing the Odyssey class into Jack's Reading Rainbow." Shut up, you lot. I can't sing the song.
Sing it.
No, I can't. I don't know the words.
In the sky.
I don't know the words. Anyway, let me get through the bloody book. Updated render. We carried saying the Enterprise is coming up. Thomas Marone said, no, we're completely full of shit. Then he admitted yesterday he was telling a porcupine because it was true. And that's Jack's book for the day. It's a lovely book, by the way. Go pick it up. I've only just unboxed it today. I did get the digital version ages ago, though. So now I've got another physical version to add to our collection. Maybe we'll give it away, by the way. Speaking of which, we're giving away a lot of stuff in the coming week for 100k subscribers, including some Eagle Moss models. So stick around because we hit 100k subscribers and we're bloody still high on it. We hit 103k today, actually.
Oh, nice. Dang, that's great. By the way, you got a super chat from Sean Casey who says, Casey, who says at last Picard looks like it could be decent, but what do they have against the NCC 1701E? I don't think they have anything against it.
I can't guarantee it because for once Jack doesn't know. I imagine the E will at least be referenced. Like, Terry is very, very smart when it comes to this. The E will definitely be referenced. And I've seen a theory at a minute that, you know, when Riku's in Earth space dock and he goes, hello, beautiful. Like, a lot of people, it's framed to look like they're looking at the Titan. That could be the Enterprise E, or it could be something else we shan't mention for the sake of getting told off again. So it could be the Enterprise E being in this sort of, it's not Earth space dock anymore, this sort of like museum, or Starfleet museum, I believe it is. So that's it. Like, it is an Earth space dock. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's like one thing on it, but I reckon we will see the Enterprise E, so keep that in mind. Like, Terry is very creative with what he does, so I don't think they'd miss out the Enterprise E, so just keep that in mind. Chuck, hey, Captain Jack Trek is awesome. Thank you.
They acknowledge it.
Yeah,
they acknowledged the E in season 1 of Picard when it showed that picture of Picard holding baby Thad. He's in the ready room of the Enterprise E.
Oh wow, you're gonna count that? Sorry.
Hang on a minute.
I'm just saying,
it's
like,
a Titan actually, and I think that's
they haven't forgotten it.
I think that's the Titan actually, when he's holding baby.
I'm not paid high enough for this.
Because if you look in the background, I think you see different Titans.
No. You saw the different Titans in the ready room on lower decks when they showed the. Or was it the ready room or the conference room that had like the different Titans?
We know there will be multiple.
Joel says I'm sassy. I'm sorry.
We know there'll be multiple Enterprises turning up in Star Trek Picard season 3, so we've got that to look forward to.
Yes.
So one thing, by the way, if I have to move heaven or water, we are getting Dave Blass on for a chat at some point. Yes. So I want to pick that man's brains and just bless him for bringing us the Odyssey. Also, do you see what
really cool dude.
You know, last week when I said if Terry gets another Star Trek series, can we have cameos on it? And he said yes. If he does the Enterprise-F, I want to be like one of the plucky ensigns at the front. I'll just, you can
totally play the plucky ensign.
I just want to be like one of the people like walking past in the corridor, just go out. So in like 6 years' time, I go, look, my son, there was me during Star Trek in 2025. It's when your father was still coherent, Not that I'd have children, because Christ, I'd have a dog. Look here, boy.
I want to play a character that's unlike me, like a Mr. Adventure Part 2 or something, like where they have to lock me up in a closet or something.
Sounds like you're just going to be locked up in a closet.
Starfleet, boy, you're out of the closet. You don't want to go back into it. Come on.
That's true.
Honestly.
That's a good point.
Very anti-pride around here all of a sudden. Trekyard, so you coming to Mission Seattle next year, by the way? Like, we need like a big Star Trek meetup. We need a big Star Trek piss up. That's what we should call it. Not the Great British Bake Off, the Great Star Trek piss up. A great phaser piss up. There we go.
Great Star Trek piss up.
Great Star Trek piss up. Brought to you by Trek Central.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I totally abandon the starship is landing and go for that slogan instead.
Piss up is landing. That's my new favorite slogan. I really wish, I wish my company had like an infinite budget, because the amount of crazy shit we do, instead of a Great British Break Off, we just do a great like Star Trek piss up. So we'd have all of us here just trying different wines, like, oh, today Texas on the whiskey, while Starfleet boys on the Merlot wine, and Jack's on the gin and tonic, and you see absolutely rat-assed.
By the way, if you want to see me absolutely rat-ass, go check out the last time I did Trek Yards. It was a drunk stream.
So, please, by all means, people go check that out.
It's right. Am I like scared to watch it, or
no? I think the worst part was when I went on to Tex Trek's patron stream and passed out. That was worst part of it.
So are you going to be like a liability at Seattle next year? Am I going to are we going to be carrying you out of a bar or something?
I promise I can control myself.
Am I going to be like supervising Tex and like somebody else carrying you out? Like,
we won't tell any secrets. What happens in Seattle stays in Seattle.
Can I just say, like, Trek Yards is saying Captain Jack on the next Trek Yards Drunk Yards. I don't think me getting drunk and going on stuff is a good idea, because I'm already quite opinionated when I'm sober about Star Trek and the online world. I don't think we need drunk me online. Like, it's bad enough in person.
I think we do need it. That's exactly what you want to hear. That's like the perfect tease to get
coming
people
up soon,
to tune in.
Trek Central After Dark, because we're out of money and need another channel. Hey, that's see what I mean? Dear. 4 hours. Do you like me in this pose or this? No, we're not doing that. Yeah, that's when you spit about drink there almost. Anyway, the Enterprise-F, where was we? So that's now canon.
Well, you must be like loving it, right? Like,
honestly,
that's your lady.
I frightened the shit out of our like new editor. It was his first day here, and I was like, Matt, the trailer's here, and you just hear me go, oh fucking hell, as the Enterprise-F comes on screen. Even Dom was like, what's going on? What? I was like, they've done it, Dom. They've fucking done it. I wish we'd captured my reaction, because like we'd probably be getting retweets upon retweets of that right now. We'll have to like get my reaction when it comes up in like on the actual screen or something like that. Like we'll have to record that.
Yeah, you should totally film that. That's awesome.
Like I was quite sentimental, because like I've wanted the Enterprise-F for some time now. I see it as the next evolution of the Star Trek universe, like going into that next phase. Like we've had the Enterprise-E phase, as fortunately it does appear to be over, much to the chagrin of many. I think the Enterprise-F signals the next era of Star Trek, much like Terry Matalas saying, where Picard is now is the future of Trek. I think the Enterprise-F leads that. Like that is the next generation, or the next generation in this case. Also, did you catch Terry's comments and Alex's comments about them saying that Picard season 3 will see them pass the baton, similar to how at the start of Next Gen, Dr. McCoy was there to pass the baton from TOS to TNG. Like, I wonder how that's going to go down. Personally, I already have some theories, and we might know why. But how do you guys think it will go down? So I won't open my mouth.
I'm going to stick to my theory about Seven being the lead of the next show, and it's going to be centered around her, and through her we get to see a lot of other and catch up with everyone else that we've been wanting to catch up with.
How about you, Tex?
Well, I think there's two different ways that might actually exist in the show. Is that the way that this was brought up, by the way, during the panel was during the Q&A segment. A fan in the audience asked the question, like, would there be a passing of the baton moment like that? And the way he was phrasing it, he was talking about, like, I know it would be weird with the settings and all, but would it be something passed between the TNG cast on Picard and then like the cast of one of the other shows currently in production? And the way Terry responded to that was like, yes, there will definitely be a moment like that. But I don't know if he means like, and it's possible through like time travel or whatever. They could actually have, characters from Discovery or Strange New Worlds or something else, show up in Picard. But I think what's more likely is it is going to be characters that are already established in Picard, or new characters that will be introduced this season, and kind of like setting them up for a potential 25th century show. And Alex Kurtzman also, by the way, he keeps teasing, we got more shows in development, we have other things we're working on, and he even brought up, there was someone asked about like when will we see live action Janeway again? You know, Kate Mulgrew was there during the Prodigy panel, and Kurtzman just said like, you know, we've had conversations, we've talked about things.
While
so
sitting right next
if they
to
are
her.
going to do another, so if they're going to do like another 25th century show, it's.
She said to him, while I'm not ambulatory or something.
Before she gets too old. So
yeah, exactly. But sorry, carry on, Father.
But yeah, so I think there's definitely a desire to continue this, you know, time period that they've established with Picard at the, you know, end of the 24th century, beginning of 25th century. It's just the perfect time to have all these DS9, Voyager, and TNG legacy actors. You know, they're the right age to show up in cameos, so it would make a lot of sense to continue at that point. And yeah, it sounds like Kate Mulgrew is definitely ready to get in front of the camera again. So I'm hoping that Terry's involved. I'm hoping that is like one of the big shows that's in development is going to be more of that 25th century stuff, and we'll have that passing of baton set up for it in Picard season 3.
I totally agree. I've got a theory of how it will pass the baton. Personally, I think it will be a case of like a 7 show or something like that. Like, you know, maybe she gets command of the Stargazer, or if that's still around, or the Titan A. Like, they've built this ship. Like, perhaps this will be the next one to carry like the baton of it, or it could be the Enterprise-F as well. A lot of people have been saying yes, 7 should take over and be the captain of the Enterprise-F, which I love that idea personally, especially because it's been teased that some of our next gen characters, like, they're not all safe, like, in their stories. So whether that means a waving goodbye permanently to some people, like, that could be something. But also, what is it? I reckon it would not surprise me if we see the setup of like a new crew or new unique characters. We are definitely, like, we've already got LeVar Burton's daughter in it playing his real life version of LaForge, or his real life, or in universe daughter of LaForge. They're evidently setting up other new characters as well. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I wouldn't surprise me if we see other characters set up that are related to our current characters in many different ways. Because remember, I asked Terry about relatives being in it, and obviously some of us know why I cryptically asked that question. Like, it's case in point, something's going to happen there. So I reckon we will see the baton passed. And I have a feeling one of the last shots of Picard season 3 has to do with 7 of 9, because when Terry Matalas tweeted saying, what is it? He tweeted a picture saying like last day on set, and it was on the transporter pad, and it was 2 characters, one with the Borg hand, which looks like 7. Like, it had like a you know, the sort of a simulated hand, which looks like 7 of 9. So it's whether they've deliberately set up that to like pass the ban. I reckon it's going to be a new crew on the Titan or another ship though. That's going to be something really cool. But yeah, I reckon it's definitely it's definitely something taking place. I can't wait. Can I say I cannot wait for it? Like, we've not got that long to go as well. It seems quite a while, but we're already in October. We've got October, November, December, January, February. So just shy of like 5 months-ish to go until Star Trek Picard season 3, the third and final season of it. Gentlemen, I can't wait to be sat here streaming with you every Sunday in February and March and that, talking about the 3rd season, because you know we're going to be bouncing off the walls of excitement.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I agree. I don't know. It seems like a long way to me. I'm building a time machine to time travel to the future to watch. No, but 5 months is not that long. And we definitely have plenty of Trek to keep us busy in a small break, which actually us YouTubers appreciate sometimes. So, it's not a bad thing.
Starfleet boy. Let's talk about one of the big reveals in a minute. Professor Moriarty is coming back.
Yes.
Someone mentioned in the chat there a video of Daniel Davis saying fans would appreciate a callback before Moriarty showed up. Was that something to do with you, wasn't it?
Yeah. So like 2 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. 2 years ago, when I was finishing up my TNG discussion series on Starfleet Boy, I commissioned a bunch of cameos to say thank you to the audience and to pals who came on the show and stuff like that. So Daniel Davis, all I asked him in the cameo, you give them a prompt or whatever. So I said, hey, could you just say thank you to my audience and maybe say a little something about Star Trek, whatever you like. And he completely improvised this whole like Moriarty sketch with like, where he's like he's like, oh, Jean-Luc, I heard Jean-Luc is not in a like, he says all these things like, I heard Picard has his own show, so why can't I, and like things like that, and be careful because don't tempt me, I can destroy the Federation, things like that. So it was really great. The video's doing bonkers right now. Actually, it's the most popular tweet I've ever done in my whole life, so it's still going. So if you want to check it out, go over to the Starfleet page. But yeah, he's brilliant. And from my understanding, that was before I guess anything was going on. So and also Father was telling me he's been pitching a Moriarty return since Voyager. So I'm really excited. Yes. Yeah. So I'm really excited that he's back. But also, this just shows you how tuned in to the show, the lore, the fans that Terry Matalas and his team seem to be, because it's the reception of Moriarty is astounding. Like, I'm just seeing so much positivity, like people saying, of course. Sam and I were talking about how he's even set up kind of like a con type, villain. Like, he could potentially have lost the Baroness, and that, would be a good motivation for him to want to seek revenge and stuff like that. So then there's 3 villains. What do you call that? A gallery? Yeah. What is that called? Like a rogues gallery, right? Yeah, rogues gallery in Picard. It's like so cool.
Speaking of a new villain, by the way, obviously Amanda Plummer has been revealed as our main villain for season 3 of Picard. How do you pronounce it?
Some people think that's a lie, but yeah.
It could be Terry throwing us a curveball.
What is a lie?
They think that she might be not the main villain. Like, she might not be the main villain. I don't think that. I think she might be the main villain.
Yeah, they've been extremely vocal about her being, before we even saw her. Like, oh yeah, we have like this lady main villain. So, I mean, it could all be a lie, but.
Well, we know that trailers lie too, and people lie nowadays, but it's all in good fun. It's so you don't get spoiled, and I love it. I don't mind being lied to when it's.
I don't think that. I think the majority of the time they're still telling the truth, though. So.
I'll tell you this. Like, it's fun to speculate and everything, and I love doing it. But knowing Terry Matalas's work and his team with 12 Monkeys, like, nothing we're speculating about. Like, some of these things might come true, but I think he's got like a lot of surprises in store for us, and a lot more intrigue than we can even imagine. I think this season's going to be like,
it was
totally
so
bonkers.
Nice seeing him on stage as well, because I feel like Terry, like, we don't see him enough. Like, sometimes people don't want to be like in the center point of it, like they just want to show their work and not themselves, which is completely understandable. But it was really nice seeing him on stage talking with everyone and hearing his insight for a change, like his actual voice as well, because we read it in our voices in our heads from tweets and stuff like that, but it's nice seeing him on stage, and also in the pictures of the TNG crew as well. Which is really nice. Like, those pictures of like the TNG family are very wholesome as well. They were very nice.
Yeah, totally. And some folks are speculating, could it be Chang's daughter? I don't know what beef she would have with Jean-Luc. I feel like, but
yeah, I didn't. I mean, I guess the interior of that ship she's in looks kind of Klingon, but other than that, I saw no Klingon imagery or vibes or anything with her character or her crew, so I don't think
that ship is rad too, by the way.
The
sadly
shrike.
We won't. The shrike, yeah.
Shrike,
Did you hear Jack? The shrike is a bird, and it impales you. It kills you by impaling you and snapping your neck.
So we actually, I think I can say this, but we actually saw the shrike like 6 months ago or something like that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we found some art for it, and now we didn't post it because we clocked it was from season 3, and to be respectful, because obviously now it seems it was a rather large spoiler. We went to the creative team, was like, hey, by the way, we found this. And they was like, oh, please don't post this. Like, yeah, it's completely fine. Like, I always say, because obviously I know Trek Central is well known for like doing exclusives and stuff like that. Stuff like that will spoil the production in my mind. Like, excuse me, I got a really bad throat in a minute. Stuff like that will like spoil the production. However, casting report won't. Like, those are two different things. Because you're not being, the story isn't being spoiled. But seeing that ship early on would have taken away the surprise of seeing it in the trailer, I think. Just how I probably wouldn't have liked to have seen the Enterprise-F properly beforehand. Like, I know I kept like digging for theories and theories, but seeing it properly there as a surprise, the experience is 10 times better. So yeah, we saw the shrike ages ago. We had no idea what it was. We didn't know it flew that way. We thought it flew the other way, which probably explains the concept image we found. But you can't find it on the internet anymore, by the way. I'm sure they'll be allowed to post it when they allowed to post it. It was someone being confused because season 2 and 3 were shot back to back. So therefore, some people thought art for season 3 was for season 2 and vice versa, so he was posting some of it. That's why it had to be like removed pretty quickly. But yeah, the shrike is looking very interesting. I want to know more about the ship, why it's unique, why it's I want to know more about it. That's simple to put.
Yeah, 100%. And they did a great job of keeping Amanda Plummer casting under wraps too,
Yeah.
because I was dying. I was like I was doing the same thing. I was like looking online, seeing if I catch anything on like call sheets or whatever. But
We've seen
you know,
nothing, like even stuff we are like privy to, nothing has come across our desk about it.
But I am
Although
so
I
excited about
do
her.
feel like someone had theorized she might be.
Oh,
like,
really?
people were just saying like every like woman actor who might play like a villainous character. I saw her, and as long with a lot of other people. Like I think Glenn Close was even suggested by someone. But yeah, I did see Amanda Plummer's name pop up somewhere. People were theory crafting who might be, because Terry told us it's a very prolific actor, someone we've all seen a million times before, but have never seen in Star Trek. So people are like, oh, who are something like these ladies that have been acting for decades but have never done Star Trek? Who could it possibly be?
I think I was weird, and I was like guessing it would be Dame Helen Mirren or something like that. But I'm really happy about
Dame
Amanda
Judi
Plummer
Dench.
or Dame Judi Dench. Can you imagine? But
Smith.
Amanda Plummer, she seems to bring the energy, and Jack, you'll remember her from Pulp Fiction in the opening sequence. She's Honey Bunny.
Yeah, Honey Bunny.
Honey Bunny.
All
And
right, I'm gonna let you all
gets up
down
on-
here. I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
And it gets worse. Dom's never seen it as well, because both me and him sat there yesterday because the trailer got leaked. Well done to that website. I did it, and Paramount called us for security risk. That trailer got leaked along with the whole thing ahead of time. And me and Dom were sat there going, "We don't know who this actress is." I was like, "Well, surely we should know."
Well, you're gonna get. Well, that's exciting to me because a lot more people will be introduced to her through this then,
Yeah.
and so maybe they'll explore her.
She was in Battlestar.
Work. She was in Battlestar.
Yeah, she's in Battlestar Galactica.
Who'd she play in Battlestar?
That's what my notes say.
Yeah, she was in one episode.
There you go.
Ooh, I gotta go back and watch. That's cool. By the way, Terry Matalas also does a great job of popping in guest stars. If you watch 12 Monkeys, he pops in a lot of great epic actors as like guests. So I imagine there's going to be like even more appearances of people that we're all gonna be like,
is playing the Titan captain. I am allowed to say that, which seems very fun. And I want James Callis back.
But like, yeah, exactly. And then also, I think in season 1 you have the actor who's in Downton Abbey who plays what's his name, the butler, not the butler, sorry, the valet.
Oh, we're saying that one, are we? Ed Spielers?
No, Ed Spielers is also supposed to be in Picard. Yeah, he's in Downton Abbey as well.
Yes, he's supposed to be in it, which was confirmed recently, by the way. The article's been updated, so but we didn't see him in the trailer. I was scanning through that trailer, thinking he's got to be here somewhere, and I thought for a minute the guy Worf was talking to, like there's a guy Worf is basically in his ear talking to him. By the way, you know like that shot in the trailer where Worf's speaking to that guy who looks like he's just been beaten up by Raffi or whatever. So is it? I can never pronounce. How do I pronounce? I'll say Jorg. I never know how to pronounce his name properly. I feel really bad. Jörg. Okay, yeah. So I read it as I see it. He pointed out that it looked like actor Thomas Dekker was in the trailer. Now, he previously played the illusionary Thomas Picard in Star Trek Generations. You know, when Picard had his scene sequence where he went into the Nexus, essentially. That actor previously played him. He said it looked very similar. We don't know who the guy in the Picard trailer is, but he looks very similar to Thomas Dekker. He also played the holographic Henry Burley in Persistence of the Vision, the Voyager episode. So yeah, that's and
he's a famous musician now. Apparently, he does music, so that's his. So
it could be it could be a cameo. It could be Thomas Dekker. Does Terry Matalas follow him? He doesn't. Okay, well that rules that one out the window. Hang on, I can answer the question of whether we think it's the right person. Let me just go on Instagram and look at someone's account.
I have a picture of Thomas Dekker or Dekker. I was saying it Dekker, but maybe is it Dekker or Dekker?
Okay, it might be Dekker.
I have a picture of him that looks exactly like the screenshot almost. I'll put in the chat here. Hold on.
Michelle Hurd.
Let's see. What's that?
Michelle Hurd follows him on Instagram, so maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Given she was acting alongside him, maybe. Where am I looking?
I sent it in the subspace private channel.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it does look very much like him, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then I think it's him. He's got that like look with the eyeliner, and stuff like that.
Stylish.
But it's so interesting too, because he's talking to this character like saying, "I used to be this way." Who could this character be? Like that's very intriguing to me. Like he's trying to calm this character down or something. Like there's so many little juicy bits in that trailer that
I'm saying a good question. Where is Dr. Pulaski? That's who we need back. Like,
oh yes,
me the good
doctor. Well, she she's been very vocal about I will never
Never do
ever
Star Trek.
ever not just do Star Trek again, but I will never ever even do science fiction again.
Fair enough.
The character is in a bunch of books,
Oh, yeah, she
I
is.
think, and yeah, Una McCormick, and she hangs out with Garrick, so that's fun.
Yeah, and they work with Julian.
That'd
It's
be
now
cool
in
to
the
see. Too bad we can't get that in live action.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh well.
well, not with Diana Muldaur, maybe.
Not with
but-
that attitude.
I do say that never say never, so you never know. You know, like a lot of people say they'll never come back, and then they do. You know, like our TNG friends.
I think there is also some bad. Well, I don't know. I don't want to like spread rumors or anything, but I think there might have been some bad blood between her and the other Next Generation actors, and I think that might be part of her decision of staying away. But
I see. Well.
Ah well. Also, what else do we get in the
but I
trailer?
mean, Jerry Ryan and Kate Mulgrew learned to get along, so yeah, anything is possible.
You know, sometimes relationships start off on the rocks and end up being the best of friends. So who knows?
That's why
But,
we need the Seven and Raffi show, and then have Admiral Janeway be like their boss back at Starfleet HQ. Because you know all the shows need to have like the boss admiral, like Admiral Forrest or Admiral Ross or Admiral
Vance.
April or whoever. Admiral Vance, yeah.
Can't
So
forget
that
the
would just be
Admiral.
Janeway's job, and then we can have Jerry and Kate, you know, working together again now that they get along with each other.
I have an STO question. Like, someone was saying that the fireworks at Earth Space Dock is like a reference to STO somehow, like,
Could
or
be.
early STO. Do you know what they're talking about? Like,
So in
is
Star
that-
Trek Online, there's a common thing where people in ships will just let fireworks off around Earth Space Dock, usually for an event celebration or just randomly. So it's kind of like a reference going on there. Like you can shoot fireworks from your ships in STO.
and they're like what, holographic fireworks, or are they just
Yeah.
like display, like energy displays, I guess,
I
or something? That's
don't.
kind of-
You're asking a bit too much of a specific question, there,
Okay.
but I don't know. Like I can give you a good answer, but Christ, I didn't write the PhD on it. Fucking hell.
But you know, that shot's really interesting because you see Earth Space Dock and you see a ton of ships
The whole fleet's there.
surrounding it. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, and then also in the in 10 Forward, there's a poster that says like Frontier Day or something like that. So maybe they're doing
there?
a celebration. I think they're doing the christening of Enterprise-F. I think they're there. You know, maybe now Enterprise is such a big deal and a flagship ship, so you know, like since the Enterprise basically and her crews have saved, you know, the Federation time and time again, they're like, okay, we're gonna do a little, we don't do this pomp and circumstance, but we're gonna do a big maybe like it's a decommissioning ceremony for the E and a commissioning ceremony for the F or something like that, like a proper handoff, you know, that we've never seen because they all get destroyed or whatever.
But I wonder who's commanding the Enterprise-F. That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
and-
Who is it supposed to be in the lore in the expanded
So
universe?
it's Captain Vakil Shon in Star Trek Online. Now, the command was offered to Captain Data, but he turned it down because he's still alive in Star Trek Online. He's brought back a similar way the books brought him back, I believe. Or it might be related to the Countdown comics, one or the other. So he turned down command, and Captain Vakil Shon got command of the Enterprise-F. And he previously was captain of DS9, and I can't remember what his first ship's called. Is it the Belfast, maybe, I think? Someone can correct me in chat if it is. He was commanding the Defiant-class Belfast, which got destroyed. So they then gave him command of the Enterprise-F, which is a brand new Odyssey class. And yeah, so that's his command. His voice actor is really fun as well. So in canon, yeah, the Enterprise-F is open for debate. I think it might be Commodore George LaForge.
Ooh.
I would rather see that. I think that'd be really cool to give Geordi command. Although I don't think he's in command of a ship, because even though he's a Commodore, he still has the gold department uniform. So I think he's doing something engineering related, not commanding.
I think in one of the trailer shots, we do see him in a red uniform, actually. Like, there's a trailer shot where it could be the lighting.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got command red
I think
on.
you're right, though, yeah.
Because I think there's a little shot in the trailer where like him and Riker are sat at like what appears to be a conference table or the conference table, and he looks like he's in command. It could be the lighting, like maybe a red alert or something, but it definitely looks like he's in red rather than his yellows or orange, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I've got it here somewhere.
You're right.
Can we save that sound by everyone? Just save that for future round. Joking. Newsflash: Captain Jack Wright. I've got.
I'm hoping that he still commanded the Challenger at some point, because that
I'll
always
put the
seemed cool. Like the
picture-
idea of like Geordi in command of a Galaxy class.
I'll put the picture into the chat here a sec. Like that definitely looks red to me. This is a 4K upscale, by the way. Don't read what it says on the right side, but
Oh yeah, that's totally it totally does look red.
yeah. Like I'm in my defense, I'm slightly colorblind, so yeah, sometimes it's difficult for me to look, but that looks red to me.
Okay, so within the trailer, we for sure 100% see him in both gold and red.
I'm wearing red.
I'm wearing black as usual.
You can be in command.
Yeah, Terry, when you get a new show, Starfleet will be the captain, yeah? He gets blown up in the first episode. You're going to be the captain. Like,
Yeah,
Mayday, the ship's taking... Sir, it's another Enterprise. It's the Enterprise. Oh, I literally, that's going to be me. Like, I'm going to be Boimler when the Enterprise-F turns and going, it's the Enterprise-F! Like,
And then it blows up immediately.
if they bloody do that, I'm going to kick Kurtzman's front door down and we're going to have some strong words. If they better not do that, because you know it's going to piss off a lot of people.
Wouldn't that be? We were talking about this last night,
No, it would
Starfleet
not.
Boy and I. But wouldn't that be a great way to establish how badass and powerful your villains are? If like, okay, here's like a brand spanking new Enterprise, straight out of the assembly line, ready to go kick ass. And as soon as it launches from space dock, the bad guys just take her out immediately.
No,
and you're like, oh wow, these guys
do
don't
this to
play
me,
around.
Tex. Don't do this to me. Let me have it like for 10 episodes, please.
So then we'd have like an even cooler looking Enterprise G follow
Piss
up
off.
the Enterprise F.
If a nice possible, piss off.
I do also want to see the Odyssey. Now that I'm starting to get used to Odyssey, Father remind me that in a belligerent time I may have said some not nice things about the Odyssey.
It looks
but I've
so
definitely
Right, because
beautiful.
you're a sovereign. You're a sovereign class.
I
Stan.
am a sovereign. So yeah,
And you're in luck. There's a sovereign class showing up on lower decks this week in the new episode.
For a minute, I
that.
totally forgot we saw like the preview picture. I was like, how the hell have you just leaked that one? And I was like, whew. A myriad of NDAs and embargoes just flew straight through my head there for a second. I was like, oh yeah.
that was the clip. That was the
It
clip.
suddenly clicked. I was
Star
like,
Trek
oh yeah,
Day.
we've seen the clip. Whew, everyone calm down. Jack's not going to get sued on a Monday morning. Like, whew.
We know about Captain Bucephalus.
I wouldn't do that to you.
I had a word of everyone this week. So we had like a whole team on Discord when we was doing the social media covering, and when we got the Picard trailer early, obviously everyone started to discuss it. I was like, right, none of you bloody tweet anything until it goes live. I was like, because I am not getting sued on Monday morning, and I'm not getting suspended. Have you ever seen Peaky Blinders, like that UK show? There's a scene.
I've seen a little bit of it.
There's
yeah.
a scene in it where he goes like his group of people. He goes, "No fucking fighting, no fighting, no fighting, and you, no fighting." I feel like that's me of the TC team going, "No leaks, no leaks. Don't you post that? No." I have to do it to myself in the mirror as well because I'm also guilty of it. I just like Star Trek so much. What can I say?
Tim Jerome is asking, do you think we will ever get to see a future Enterprise in Discovery?
Yes.
We saw Constitution. We didn't see the Enterprise though.
Yes.
You're right. So I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of keeping the Enterprise a mystery. I didn't like it at first because when Picard first came on, I was like, "Where's the Enterprise? Where's the Enterprise?" Like, But now that we have Strange New Worlds carrying the Enterprise flag, so to speak, I'm pretty satisfied with that being the main source of Enterprise fun. But it is nice that I did want to see a follow up in the 25th century, so I am glad we're going to see some Enterprise action.
I would not be
this season.
surprised if we see the Enterprise, and I say this every time, I would not be surprised if we see the Enterprise in Discovery Season 5 at the very end, because we've had Earth reunite or at least on the path to reuniting in Season 4. Wouldn't it be great to end Season 5 with a launch of obviously they've got the Academy back now, they've got Starfleet Academy. What if we bring exploration back with the launch of a new Enterprise to signify Starfleet's return to Promise and the Federation? That could be a really cool ending, because it's not just doing it for the sake of going, well, hey, we've got a new Enterprise, but rather going, look, Starfleet is ready to get out there and explore once again with a new ship, with a new spore drive technology, Pathfinder drive. Here we go. I feel like that would make more sense, to be fair. The USS Trek
That's
Central,
super proper. That's super proper. I mean, there's definitely, Star Trek has definitely expanded beyond just being a show about the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. But I like that. I like her being a hallmark of things are right again. Having that kind of thing. So
did you see the IDW announced comic Star Trek Defiant, which follows Captain Worf?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
spin off of the Star Trek ongoing that they're doing with Cisco. So we're gonna have Cisco and his crew, and then Worf and his crew.
Commanding the actual Defiant, interesting. Which is very fun. So I'm loving what IDW are doing. We spent a lot of time with them at New York Comic Con as well. TJ's hanging out with them. Lovely people over at IDW. We've got some signed comics to bring back, maybe some for a giveaway as well, so people can keep an eye out for that. As I'm sure there'll be a good chance to get in on that. But yeah, I can't wait to see these comics. Like the Stargazer comics out right now, that's very fun to read. Like I was never into comics much as a kid, didn't really have access to them, but I'm reading the Stargazer one. I love it. I keep calling it Stargate by accident, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, but no, IDW's done great stuff with the Star Trek license. I'm a big fan of their Mirror Universe stuff that they did with, especially the stuff that has the J.K. Woodward artwork. Is just his beautiful painted artwork looks gorgeous. But yeah, and it's exciting that we're getting a ongoing instead of just like all these mini series they've been doing here or there. We're gonna get a new ongoing Star Trek series set in this similar time period as Picard, and it's like a few years earlier, but still, it's like that late 24th century stuff. Prodigy, Lower Decks, like the real fertile grounds that Star Trek has really been exploring a lot lately. So yeah.
Speaking of which, by the way, there's another comic book series coming up. I think maybe the end of this month, if not next month. It's Star Trek Resurgence, which is meant to tie into a video game, which still currently does not have a release date. And I don't think
we have no idea when the hell it's coming out.
I'd be bloody surprised if we saw that game this year. Speaking of games coming out, though, Star Trek Prodigy Supernova is due out this coming Friday on October 14th. Now, it is a kids' game. However, I can't say anything too much yet because we're under embargoes, but check it out. It's going to be pretty cool, I hear. And our review will be out on Friday along with the release date. So, yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
Looking at the trailers, it looks really nice. Also,
speaking of artists, we have our friend Aaron Harvey, Geek Filter, in the audience saying hello and reiterating maybe it will launch for Frontier Day, which we're also speculating.
I reckon Frontier Day is going to be an event like in person. Do you reckon they're going to do something for it?
I don't know what Frontier Day is yet. Like, I guess they can't do the First Contact Day because now it has like a bad well, because like Mars
they're 9/11 now.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
It's like they're, so like maybe Frontier Day is like the new one of that. But yeah, it is interesting. I think we might see Frontier Day because that was an interesting thing, interesting concept. Yeah, it's a neat thing. It looks like in the poster, which Aaron has tried to recreate, and he says he might laugh when we actually see it on, like clearly if we do. But it has like the Voyager, the Connie, and some other ship, I forget what it is, which would make sense because the early exploration with the 1701. I mean the 5-year missions with the 1701, the Voyager being in Delta Quadrant. That's a frontier, right? So yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Frontier Day sounds pretty cool because it's also another Paramount marketing opportunity. Way, the Frontier is landing. Don't you dare say anything about that merch line, Starfleet boy.
I won't, I promise.
And if you bring one of those t-shirts to Mission Seattle, we'll be having words.
By the way, my hoodie arrived. I'm only gonna wear it on my channel because I get a lot of hate if I wear it.
Oh wait, is this your own version?
No, not that one. The
one hoodie that they sold.
One hoodie, yeah. Some marketing intern's kind of getting a raise to £2 an hour now. Speaking of Prodigy, by the way, so that's coming up next, or in a couple weeks, 3 weeks now, isn't it? 3-4 weeks, yeah. So Prodigy Season 1B is being nicknamed. We've got a lovely new trailer for that. Janeway and the Dauntless looking sexy as per usual. And also more reveals as well. Ronnie Cox is returning to play Admiral Edward Jellicoe now, which is very fun. I love him. Obviously, I first saw him in Next Gen, but I personally know him more from his role as Senator Kinsey in Stargate SG-1. That's where I recognize him more from. Which is very fun. So,
right on.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him back in animation. So it looks like he might just be here for Season 1, not Season 2. But it does look like he's maybe the mission commander for the Dauntless mission, because it looks like Jamie might be reporting to him. Because we see Commander Tahiti is reporting.
More rank pips on his. He's like a 4-star admiral.
Might he be
I think Janeway only has 3 pips.
I wonder if he's a CNC in that case.
Jellicoe
It's
could
possible.
certainly have risen to that point. I mean,
Yeah.
he's very ambitious and very
Actually,
like.
I believe in the books, Jellicoe was the CNC of Starfleet at one point. So yeah,
That would track for me as well. Did they say in the
We
panel
know
that
that
he
he
might
has
be an
enough authority.
antagonist? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We know that he has the authority to ban the Zebulon sisters from doing their dancing numbers on any Starfleet ships that are in active duty, because that was shown on the Federation News Network bit in the season opener this year of Lower Decks season 3. Remember,
That's
it
pretty
said
funny.
I have no
Admiral
idea what you're on
Jellicoe
about.
You know the Zebulon sisters. They keep referencing them. It's kind of like they're kind
Lower
of like
Decks.
the Delaney sisters.
Oh,
on
yeah.
on yeah. And have we actually seen them though? No, right? We haven't seen the Zebulon.
on the Federation News Network, on like the ticker at the bottom of the screen, it says
Yeah,
Admiral
okay.
Jellicoe banned them from performing on active duty ships.
Okay, well,
But that would be before that.
here's a bit of
Because Lower Decks
information.
take-
Here's a bit of information for you. So, according to Star Trek Beta or Memory Beta, so this is from the Litverse novels, which are now not canon anymore, or they never really were, but they're definitely not canon anymore because sort of Paramount's
Right.
reorganized that department. So, so in 2381, so I believe Prodigy takes place in 2382 or 3, isn't it? So a couple of years later. Prodigy's dating system is really weird, actually. Anyway, in 2381, Jellicoe was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Federation Starfleet, placing him in overall command of Starfleet's response to that year's Borg invasion. So he would serve, I believe, Commander-in-Chief until, I think it was 2386? But obviously that's due to the law in Beta. But so yeah, he was the Commander-in-Chief for quite a while, which is very cool. So he was a CNC. And we've seen a CNC in Starfleet before. We've seen him in Star Trek The Undiscovered Country, where I think it's called Bob or something like that, or Robert, who was the CNC at that time. So he's commander.
Yeah, Bob was the admiral in Star Trek 5, but
Sorry,
there's a
it's called-
CNC
right.
in Star Trek 6.
In Star Trek 6, but I can't remember what that
Oh, is
guy's name was.
No, he's
Yeah, there is. He's a different. Maybe
we
it's the same character,
Oh,
but
did we
it's
see
played
him
by
in-
a
Wasn't
different-
wasn't Bob Harv Bennett played in Star Trek
Harv
5
Bennett.
though?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of whoever was in what is it
Star Trek 6, right?
yeah.
Yeah, in Star Trek 6, you have like that one yeoman or whatever, and she's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the CNC," and they all stand up.
Yeah, and he's quite like he appears to have
that
like
meeting.
he appears to have a friendly relationship with Kirk as well. Like, so see, he almost looks like looked a bit like Will Shatner there for a second. Like,
Oh yeah, they have a similar
it's a
like
similar facial
jock
structure.
type of thing going on.
Yeah.
Sorry to typecast you as a jock, William Shatner, but you
Someone said-
kind of are.
Jellicoe is a CNC. Where's your uniforms, Captain Jack and Textra? Yeah, where's are you? We didn't have any.
The
uniforms,
actor's
do we?
name is Leon Roussom, who
Oh,
plays the
that's-
chief CNC, I think.
Okay, so in Memory Beta, the commander in chiefs are quite out there. So like they even have a Grand Admiral title at one point. It says here Grand Admiral Fort. No,
Grand Admiral.
Grand
Star-
Admiral.
I'm so glad that is not canon, because that is terrible. That's the other Star franchise has the Grand.
and they have
the
the
grand
better
titles.
admirals. So yeah, at least the admirals are bad over and have a point. We love you, Fawn. Yeah. So apparently, Grand Admiral Margaret Sinclair Alexander, obviously the captain from Star Trek 3. Yeah, 3. I think so. Was it 3 or 4? No, 4. Sorry, 4. She was the one whose ship gets taken out first, isn't it? Of a whale probe.
Oh, the Grissom, right?
Yeah, is it Captain Sinclair?
Is the Saratoga.
That's
Saratoga.
the Saratoga. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Then,
yeah, that's Star Trek 4.
Yeah,
Admiral Pavel Chekhov.
but
took over.
Admiral Cartwright is in Star Trek 4 also.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's yeah. He's also the asshole in 6, isn't he? He's
Right,
part of the
yeah.
coup.
Who
And
we can
Sisko's,
now assume might have been part of Section 31.
Yeah, Ben Sisko's dad was behind it all along. It's in the gumbo, or is it? What's not gumbo, mate? What is it? What is it they make at Sisko's restaurant? Creole.
It
Is
does,
it?
They
right?
have
No,
gumbo.
jambalaya,
It is gumbo.
jambalaya.
They have
Okay, yeah.
jambalaya also.
I've
Yeah.
never eaten that type of food,
They
so
have
I wouldn't
both.
know.
You should try it. It's
I
good.
cook a pretty mean gumbo and a good jambalaya.
Isn't it
I
just
think so.
like water?
I think it's good.
Like what is gumbo? Like this is we're going weirdly off track here, but what is gumbo?
I mean, it is like soup based, but it's normally real thick. You
This
put
looks like
okra
muddy
in it, and
water.
that'll thicken it up. But
I think it
You-
falls
you
in
have-
the
you make-
stew
well-
category. No.
I guess because you make a roux,
What?
Or I always make like when I make it with
Yeah, so it's like a stew jack.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean, I don't mind
But
a bit
I
of
always throw
tomato
like some
soup. That's about as far as I go.
chicken and pork, shrimp.
I went to
All that stuff's good.
I went to an Asian restaurant earlier this year with a couple of friends who are quite into that like type of food. Personally, I've never tried it much, so I've never experienced it. So it took me along, and I think it was a broth we had, and it was just basically water with bits of chicken dumped in it. I'm like, minus 10 points of presentation. Obviously, I didn't understand what the hell was going on, and I can't use chopsticks either. So it was an interesting experience. This is why like I'm really easy to work with when it comes to food. Because I'm like, cool, there's a burger place, sir. I'll see you later.
Oh, I love a good burger. Burger and pizza is like my go-to.
Steak is also what I like as well. Like we've got a lovely steak. I took Ed to Detroit out for dinner last week.
I'm a steak eater.
Yeah, we went out for a
Sushi
lovely
also.
steak.
I'll never turn down a sushi date.
I've never tried sushi. I watched a video on TikTok this morning. It said it was really bad for you. So.
Oh, well, it depends where you go, but maybe we'll concoct something in Seattle because they have one of the best sushi restaurants I've ever been to at Pike Place Market. So
yeah,
maybe
we'll watch the
concoct a
TC
little
budget
plan.
go down the drain in like one weekend. This weekend's brought to you by Squarespace. Way. This entire trip is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Very funny.
This video is brought to you by Alex Kurtzman's bank account. No. His love of flat screen TVs.
Alex Kurtzman, send us your Amex.
I hope for Mission Seattle, like a lot more is pulled out of the hat this year. Like that'd be quite good. Or this coming year.
Yeah, it would be really nice, but it takes place in May, at the end of May, so it depends, I guess. What's happening around that time? Is that when Disco's due to be out? Or
I think that'll.
No. I
think
Strange New Worlds is returning later. Maybe
We'll probably be well into season 2 of Strange New Worlds, and I think Discovery will be gearing up to release soon. It'll probably be ready in the summer, June or it's going to be interesting because they really like releasing Lower Decks in late August. But I don't know. Are we going to have time to like squeeze out a season of Discovery between Strange New Worlds and late August? Like, will it all fit? Or are we gonna have like the shows overlap again? It's so much easier covering them when it's just one episode per week. But
please don't make us cover them both again. We've already got enough on at the minute because February next year is going to be hell on earth. It's going to have Mandalorian season 3 and Star Trek Picard. I'm going to be spitting feathers for like 4 weeks straight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine ignoring the other Star franchise whenever there's new Star Trek. Like I still haven't watched Andor, but I hear it's good. I hear good stuff about it.
We've got a channel for both. God help us. Whose bright idea was that? Oh wait, it was mine.
Wait, and not to mention Doctor Who.
Oh, because that's
we got a new Who on the horizon too.
That's in 2 weeks. So we've got Doctor Who, and then you've got Prodigy in the same sort of like fiscal week, which is going to be fun. Yikes.
Tim is saying we still have not got a trailer for Strange New World season 2. Was expecting this to drop by now. Yeah, but both I think Anson Mount and Melissa Navia were at Comic-Con, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so
they weren't involved.
Were
in
they there?
Stuff.
They were promoting other things.
No, they were promoting
because I know Anson was there.
Anson and Melissa were there. They were just doing signings and photo ops. I don't think he was doing anything else. I think it's also an easy trip down for him because Strange New Worlds isn't filming anymore, so they're in post-production at the minute. So yeah.
And he lives in upstate New York.
I agree.
Has he moved back?
Sam.
Yeah, I don't know if he has. I presumed Anson Mount was still up in Canada. He moved obviously with family.
They've been.
He moved up to there.
Yeah, he lives in upstate New York. He bought like a ranch or a farm, I think. It's a farm. And so that's not far from Canada. So if you wanted to, like from where they film in Toronto, I feel like if you wanted to, you could go home for the weekend or something like that. So yeah, that's probably strategic on his part, buying the farm up there.
I just bought a farm, why not?
It's cool if you follow him on Instagram. Occasionally he'll give you farm tweets, but also he's a father now, and so he's got like a little bundle of joy and stuff like that, and he posts the funniest things about that. But I agree with Sam. It is good to give some of the other shows a little room to breathe, so it's good that we don't get everything all at once. So yeah, I think that for sure we'll get more Strange New Worlds love.
I guess also being strategic of their marketing as well. Well, those are words I didn't think would leave my mouth this weekend, but it's likely we'll see a new show announcement next year as well, because I think by the time we get to the big PR events, i.e. SDCC, Picard will be long gone in terms of media terms at that point. It'll be, a blink in someone's eye. It's gone. Like, in terms of how fast the media world works, unfortunately, Picard will be a long forgotten thing by the time of next year's SDCC, because people will have moved on to the next best thing since sliced bread. So likely we'll get a new show announcement next year, and also that's the time to land a trailer. I think next year's schedule goes, so we've got Picard through February, March, and tail end of April, I believe. We've then got... It's possible Stranger Worlds could land if it's ready. I reckon what they will do this time around is maybe take a week or two break, which is smarter. It gives all of us a chance to go on holiday as well. And then we will probably jump into Stranger Worlds, then Lower Decks, probably a bit more of a break, then either Prodigy or Discovery. Like, I reckon Prodigy Season 2's first section will be ready to go by this time next year, because they've got a lot more time to work on it now. That's my
Absolutely. I think that makes sense.
Obviously, we'll look at release schedules for next year.
That wouldn't all fit in the year, I don't think. So that would
one's likely
be a bit
so it's
much.
either going to be an overcross or one's going to get pushed elsewhere. It's likely Prodigy will get. That's why I said Prodigy or Discovery. Like, one's going to take a place.
What they really seem to like to do is put like a finale and a premiere like together for the same week.
I don't understand that.
Ever.
It's like they don't want people to like have like the option to like cancel Paramount Plus. The show I'm watching just had like their finale, so I guess I'm gonna cancel right now.
The trouble is, what we
don't
don't realize,
this other show is premiering.
What we don't realize it does, it just overrides one of the shows. Like, people aren't going to watch it. We saw the same thing with Picard and was it Strange New Worlds ending? People just watched Strange New Worlds and kind of forgot about Picard's ending a little bit. Like, there's still social hype there. The reason there's enough as it typically would be because you're oversaturating the market at that point. Like, I get what you say, like, Tex, you raise a really good point there. That probably is their thought behind it, but it's still a dumb thing to do. Because I'm like, guys, we're in the age of streaming and social media. People aren't going to forget. People aren't dumb. Like, your audience, Star Trek audiences and the community is one of the smartest fandoms out there. They're not thick. They will be well aware a new show they want to watch is coming out next week. Yet Paramount don't understand social media or the internet or their own audience sometimes. I mean, that's evident. Like, a 1 week break, as Sam just said in the chat, a 1 week break is a must. Like, Star Wars does it, and they do fine.
Yeah, it gives you time to sit with it. It gives you time to celebrate it, it's all
I hate to always compare, but Star Wars does it, and they do fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking breaks in between. And yes, it sucks, because we have to wait, but it does build the hype and anticipation.
Do they do that intentionally, though? Or is that just because, like, they don't have, like, enough shows in production?
No.
I think eventually we'll see Star Wars year round. I think that's probably like a goal at Disney. I think that was clearly a goal at Paramount. They've said, we want to have Star Trek year round, and
they seem to have,
I guess they've
walked back on that a little bit.
They seem to have walked back on that recently, because Kurtzman basically said we're looking at quality over quantity, which slightly suggests...
He did say that, right.
Slightly suggests they've maybe had some mistake somewhere.
He also says that they have like 2 shows that are in development that he's dying to tell us more about. So,
but none of are in active production at the minute. Like development, nothing's filming.
Sure.
If it was filming, we'd know about it by now. And I'm not saying that to big ourselves up. Like,
and we would know like
it would have
the
leaked quite a while ago. Yeah, like no one's begun casting.
But
Go on.
I do think that it's possible they announce something as early as before the end of the year this year. If it is a priority to them that they fill that Picard slot with a new show, because they'll want to be in production. If they want something for early 2024, they'll have to start production on it next year. So that they'll have to start casting and pre-production pretty soon.
I reckon they also want to see, because Kate Mulgrew said this as well, they want to see the reaction to Picard season 3. They've watched the reaction to season 2, but arguably the season 3 hype is generating a lot more because they're reusing the next gen cast. But also I'd say the fandom appear to have a lot more faith in Terry Matalas than other creators out there. No disrespect to them, people seem to back his ideas a lot more, potentially because he is playing on a nostalgia factor, but also his writing style
seems to be nailing. Like he seems to be nailing because I think that his writing's already been seen in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. That's Picard, sorry. So yeah, like I reckon Paramount are waiting to see how people perceive his work. Likely Kurtzman is as well. Like obviously he's the head honcho of Star Trek, so he gets a final decision on things just as much as the studio. A lot of the comments made at this panel, not only by the TNG stars but by Kurtzman as well, kind of suggested there was some irritation with the studio, at least the corporate sector of it, because they made a few comments about the studio which I just found quite funny. Like we picked up on like Hawks.
Oh, Jonathan Frakes saying how he's scared to death of being fired. That was hilarious, but also it felt it felt weirdly real. Like he was like,
he's been in trouble before. Like Jonathan Frakes famously leaked the fact of Terran Empire were turning up in Discovery season 1, like which Paramount were not impressed by.
He's like the Tom Holland of Star Trek. That's hilarious.
And also he leaked the Titan would show up in Picard. Like we cracked onto that.
And he leaked that there was going to be young Spock in Discovery season 2. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was like shooting an episode with like a flashback of young Michael Burnham and young Spock."
Okay, I get it. No wonder he was nervous.
Yeah, so Sam's pointed out, so Terry worked in episode 1 and 2 of Picard season 2 and the last bit of episode 10. I'd argue episode 1 of Picard season 2 is one of the best. Like the moments of Starfleet and the Stargazer and the story is very rich. And people loved episode 1. So when Picard came out, they loved episode 1. However, it quickly dwindled down and down and down because people weren't happy with the story. And no matter what you think of it, it was still a great story. Like it's just, iffing and amming out of there. But yeah, like... So I've just got dates for... So New York Comic... I'm not sure if I can say that, actually. Never mind. I've just got some dates for something. We'll come back to it later. So people are really happy with that. But yeah... I think the studio creators, everyone, they're going to see how Picard Season 3 performs overall. Because I think they're scared of it being another case of like episode 1 coming out and people going, "Way!" And then... going down here, which I don't think that's the case. I think because they're going to have a consistent showrunner through the whole season makes a lot more sense. Because with Picard season 2, when Terry worked on it and then handed the reins over to Akiva. Now Akiva, fantastic guy, he's managed to do Strange New Worlds rather well. Not so much on Picard season 2, I don't think. It seems to have fluctuated and fractured a little bit. However, season 3 has been under Terry's direct control, and everything we've seen so far looks a more coherent story. So I think everyone's going to be watching out with eagle eyes, and therefore there will probably be another show in active development following that if it goes well, as I don't think they'd want to lose Terry because he seems to have such a positive impact on the Star Trek fandom. So I went on a real big windfall of a sentence there.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, and it is really amazing to me. Yeah, there was like a big swing in attitudes on Picard with season 2. I remember everyone being so in love with the show with the premiere episode, and then by the end of the season, a lot of people had kind of like lost faith in the show, but. There is so much anticipation for Picard season 3. I think that's a huge testament to the love people have for the TNG actors and the desire to see them all together again. But also, people do seem to trust Terry, and he's
trust Terry.
Really. People seem to have faith in him. So,
Trek for Terry.
Hashtag Trek for Terry. Hashtag. What about like in Terry I trust? Should we all tweet that? Going into Picard season 3.
I'm just if I wants to go retweet my personal tweet in a minute, we're doing hashtag Trust in Terry -- Star Trek Picard and asking him. We was messaging him earlier, and I imagine he's probably going to walk back to the phone and go, "Oh my god, what's he done now?" Dex, what are you drinking now?
Just coffee.
Just coffee.
I'm had a lot of caffeine today.
It's coffee in that Nebula.
So yeah, some good old Dutch Bros cold brew.
Speaking of that Nebula, going back to the Picard trailer for a second, I totally got the Wrath of Khan vibes in there with the ship, kind of sneaking up behind or coming out of the nebula and stuff like that, and even the music. I'm really excited. Terry Matalas confirmed that all of the music in the trailer is like arranged little bits from the actual show, and they are really Stephen Barton, who also composed music for what was it, Jedi Fallen Order,
Watch Dogs, 12 Monkeys, Call of Duty Modern Warfare,
and 12 Monkeys. He said that they're trying to release the soundtrack early, and I think that's so cool, a la Jerry Goldsmith. So I didn't remember that Jerry Goldsmith if he did release stuff, if they did release that stuff early. Well, sometimes those things would come out like a week before, so yeah, that makes sense. But
let's hope the track titles aren't spoilerish, but they've already said they're not going to be. So thank you, Picard season 2. We got a lovely article out of that one, and really upset some people. I know somebody accused us of having screeners and leaking that one. It's like, no, we just read the Spotify track list. Like, they called it The Traveler. What do you expect?
But I do think that, like, you know, Paramount, CBS have a huge opportunity, because one of the things that's really exciting about the other platforms, like, for example, Amazon are releasing every single episode of Rings of Power has a whole soundtrack that comes with it, just like The Mandalorian did in its first season. So, you know, I think there's a lot of opportunities that are missed, because those are things that drive attention and engagement and things like that. And it's a no-brainer. People are like streaming this stuff. You're making money. Like, you know, there's a lot of things. I'm not in any kind of position to go and, you know, have a job over there. That's not my bag. But if I can see these things, like maybe there's an opportunity there.
Are you asking Paramount to see the obvious online? Christ. It's like, can I say the whole merch thing, right? I know we've just come back to this again. So this weekend, 1,000 like Murph plushies were shown off, right?
Oh, I so want
We've
one.
got our hands on 2. One we'll probably give away maybe sometime next year, but I'm going to keep it on the shelf because we're doing Prodigy reviews this year. So maybe we'll give it away. Can I say, people have been asking for a Murph plush since Prodigy first aired in 2021? Like, people have been wanting one for ages now.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Paramount and Infinite Wisdom have thought, no, the fans clearly want the Starship is landing, but we'll make 1,000 Murph plushies and only give them away to convention exclusives. Way. I'm like, guys, come on.
As much as I may like that campaign, I can't argue with that. It's true. The Murph plushie has been like such a thing. Like, everyone's just kind of like, I think the first time someone made one like on Etsy or something like that, it like I saw it and I was like, why can't you just like, it just feels weird that you can't do
Baby
that,
Yoda plushies, for Christ's sakes. What is stopping Paramount from making one like this? There's no copyright issues, whatever. Yeah, production is difficult and merch production is very difficult. Yeah. But Christ.
We saw firsthand how popular Murph is at Mission Chicago. Like, every single kid who lined up to talk to the panel for Prodigy, all they wanted to know about was Murph. What is Murph?
They love Murph.
Yeah, so it's a huge opportunity. So like, they've had a lot of time to kind of sit on it. But again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I want to give folks the benefit of the doubt, because I do like, you know, I engage with a lot of folks working over at Paramount online, and I like, you know, the look of their jib. So I'm hoping it's something that'll get corrected, but it does baffle me, I have to say.
I mean, with most shows though these days, I feel like they never have merchandise like lined up ready to go right before it comes out. It's always like. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, we have to wait and see if people actually like it first. And then by the time they actually get to rolling it out, it's like, yeah, people are no longer like that interested in it. Like, they've already moved on to like the next new thing.
Whereas you've got Star Wars, like, no, people will buy it. We'll force feed it to them if possible. And they're just like pumping shit out the door. Like, we had Andor Lego sets and toys before anything came around. Like, it's like, come on, guys. I don't know. It just annoys me. Like, Star Trek used to be well known for its random bits of merchandising, like the Spock police helmet and crap like that. Like, it's almost very afraid to make merch now. Nobody wants NFT starships, Paramount. We've told you this before and you refuse to listen. No, who the hell is buying? Nobody's buying anyway. Yeah. The NFT market on Starship ships isn't going anywhere. And you've always got those NFT dude bros always in your DM as soon as you mention it. Go, oh, actually it's working. It's not bloody working. No one's made any proper money from it. It's a colossal waste of time. What the
also, those NFT starships, they were just like not that attractive.
Yeah, they were like the ugliest kit bash starships. Like, I wouldn't want to own that image if you gave it to me for free. It's so ugly.
Oh my gosh, Murph candies. See, like, you could make a line of Murph stuff for kids. And then you can make candies, and you can make edibles for adults.
Edibles? What? Oh god. Okay.
Murph edibles for adults. It would be great.
I didn't realize we was on the After Dark segment of this stream now. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. Sorry.
Trackyards, we see you taking the piss. Eagle Moss. I was looking at the Eagle Moss models today because I've got a few of them on the shelf behind me. And I almost had like a 40 years. I was like, simpler times. Like, simpler times.
I'm trying to get my hands on
old Eagle Moss days.
Yeah, single tier.
So I do like with with all like the new ships, I do think like, man, it sucks. There's never going to be an Eagle Moss of.
No, actually, you say that. I have got some info soon about Eagle Moss models succeeding. I'm not sure if I can publish yet, but I do have something to look at. So remind me.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I will probably talk more about it tomorrow on my Twitter. But yeah, we've got some info about that. So all we're doing now, we'll see.
I need the Titan A. I want the Titan A as a model. I want. You know what I really want?
Can I share mine?
From this last episode.
Go on, to share.
This last episode of Lower Decks with Peanut Hamper's little warp rig set up with the nacelle and the deflector dish and everything with like little peanut hampers strapped into the front of it. Like I want that as an Eagle Moss model.
I tell you what, speaking of merchandise, guess what I've got back into recently? I put this on Twitter and I'm not going to drop it, but I got back into building Lego Star Wars stuff, and you might see this on the stream when it catches up. But I got the clone 6-leg walker thing. And yeah, so this is how you do merchandise properly, Paramount. Take note. You can actually get Star Trek Lego sets now. It's not official Lego, but it's blue bricks. And you can get things like the Titan. I'm going to pick up some soon. And maybe towards Christmas, we will do a stream with some of those. Oh, I've just broken part of it. Oh, well.
Ooh.
One of the guns is broken off.
I bought a couple of them. I have the DS9 and the Enterprise.
You built them?
I don't build them, but I got them for gifts for Antonia because she likes Legos.
Nice.
I do have to say that one of the side effects of Eagle Moss going away is that I finally opened up my model of the
I finally have a mortgage.
Strange New World, yeah, that too. The Strange New Worlds Discovery Enterprise, and I started to work on that. So I'm taking my time. I've now kind of like arranged the pieces. I'm watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I'm checking out, some of Bill Krause's techniques and stuff like that because I want to build a proper model. But that being said, it's huge. It's like almost like I think it's like 18 inches or something like that. So I do like
that is a big nacelle.
Yeah, that's a big nacelle.
That's a joke back to earlier in the stream.
But I do wish they had the smaller models like this beautiful, kind of Romulan bird of prey that I just have, because it's nice to just pick it up and have it to.
I love the models. Like my office, like here, is surrounded by models and stuff. Like on my desk, I'm just going to show off other brands here. I have a lovely model of a Star Destroyer, which was given to me via a lovely brand deal. Come on, camera, focus. There you go. It's a lovely Star Destroyer. It's not Thorns, unfortunately, but I will get one in the future. I've also got. This now segment of showing random shit on a desk. I've got a Discord.
Show and tell.
I got a Discord plushie. I got a Discord partner plushie. You can only get one of these if you're a Discord partner. It's great, and he's really nice, but he is covered in dust on the desk. So, Heck, what do you got? Show us some random crap. Come on.
Oh, this is my random crap here. Here's badge.
What about Neelix's ship from Voyager?
Nice.
That's pretty.
Rad!
Right?
Look at that. That's actually a cool looking ship. I never even realized. Oh.
I've got the Equinox behind me. I've got Pike's Enterprise, the Titan. On my shelf above here, you can sort of see it on the camera. I've got the Daedalus from Stargate. This is one of the last models Eagle Moss produced, and I was so excited to get that. I've also got
a model... that a Tholian ship? Ooh,
yeah, I have a Tholian ship.
I've also got a Battlestar Galactica and the Infinity from Halo, which is one of my favorite starships as well.
Right on. I have the Galactica. I'm trying to track down a Pegasus because those were really cool looking models as well.
Yeah, the Pegasus was awesome. I love the Pegasus.
I got a Battlestar around here somewhere, so it's just not in here for some reason.
Oh, I have a question bringing it back on track. Any other surprise castings that you think that you would like to see? Any other characters that you would like to see show up in Ensign Row? I saw you post that the other day. Like, welcome home.
Yeah, there's a reason I post
nice
that.
To be back.
You got a bit excited when I posted that, didn't you?
I sure did. I like Ensign Row a lot.
It's almost mad they've jumped the gun now a little bit.
Someone said, I think it was either I think it was one of the writers for Picard, or maybe it was Terry, but they said that like every single, not everyone they wanted to bring back is going to be in Picard, because I think people underestimate what it's like to film under these COVID restrictions, which are still, pretty much kind of like in effect, at least they were. But they said that every single person that they did bring back, no matter how short a time they spend on screen, will be meaningful. So there might be little teeny weeny cameos here and there You never know. So I think Barkley is a good contender to show up in one of those.
I'm not sure if they will bring him back because I believe the actor.
Oh yeah, I saw. Oh yeah.
So
I just heard.
I got told off
Yeah,
for mentioning him a while back. So
that's right. I keep forgetting that because I love Barkley so much. But yeah,
I don't know the story on this.
I think
it's just I think some of his statements have been a little bit too extremist on the on some podcasts and stuff like that. Political statements, I think so. For some people's tastes,
it's political statements that won't align with like Star Trek values. That makes sense. So.
Yeah, that makes better sense, I think.
Well, that's a shame. But I don't want them to go too crazy with cameos. I don't want like every episode to be like 2 or 3 familiar faces show up and like wink at the camera. So I think that would kind of like diminish how meaningful they are. I certainly would like to see a few, especially like if they're unexpected and they're kind of like a nice, pleasant surprise. But don't get too cutesy with it. I think less is more with that type of stuff.
We do have these wonderful 24th and 25th century settings, like 4th century with Prodigy and Lower Deck. So there's plenty of opportunities, and they've been taking advantage of that too. So there's plenty of opportunities to bring in legacy characters as they're known, or so on and so forth. So.
Save some of them for like Prodigy and Lower Decks and like these other shows. So there's plenty to go around. We don't need to shove everyone into Picard season 3.
Yes, we do. Get the fuck out of it. So one last thing as we start to end off, by the way, so we're getting to 10:30 here now, and it's rather late, and some of us have been awake for a whole weekend.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Frakes teased something. So at the panel, they obviously asked, would you do anything future? Sir Patrick made the funny comment about a movie. So I think Frakes also riffed on that one as well. So today, the Star Trek account tweeted the final voyage, Star Trek Picard Season 3 premieres February 16th. Frakes quote tweeted it going, maybe not final at Star Trek on Paramount Plus. So I don't think it'll be the last we see of some characters. I would not surprise me if they did another future series. I would highly suspect Riker to show up again, maybe, because I think Frakes it's Frakes. He fucking loves everything, doesn't he? He's also loud.
Right.
He loves it also.
He shows up everywhere. He's been in like every show except for Discovery and Prodigy, and other than that, he's appeared on like every Star Trek show has been like Next Generation or later. Or you're right.
Oh my gosh,
right?
am I the Frakes of online streaming?
Yes, you are. You're not loud enough there.
Sure.
You start going, have you ever seen the behind the scenes video of Discovery Season 2 when Frakes is directing and just Anson Mount, like, in a funny way, slagging him off while he's doing it? Because Frakes is going, action, roll, explosion! And Anson Mount's like, he still thinks he's an actor or something. And he's just like sort of under his breath.
Or action, like that's his go-to whenever like they'll start.
It's rather loud.
Some of the actors have mocked him, like, like when Frakes is on set, action, like they kind of like make fun of him for it. But
he gets the energy that people need, like, because he knows Star Trek and knows it. Like, I'd love him to do a premiere episode of a series. I think it'd be really nice.
He's talked about how whatever show they do next, he wants to be involved in like the development of it, and maybe like go in as like a producer. Exciting. And I mean, obviously, then you get to earn like royalties on that show the entire time it exists. So,
but no, I think money.
He actually has a lot to contribute. He's directed a shitload of Star Trek, and I think he would have a lot to contribute. He knows what it's like to be an actor on one of those. He knows what it's like to be like a director on one of those shows. So I think he would actually be like a good fit for that.
Speaking of directing, by the way, we are aware of who's directing season 3 of Picard. So here's some details for you. This is officially coming in information. So episode 1 is directed by Doug Aronofsky. He's well known for doing Picard. He's done some of the best Picard episodes. He's doing episode 2. They're doing them in blocks again. Now Terry Matalas writes episode 1. Episode 2 is written by Chris Monfetti and Sean Trotter, how do you pronounce that? Chris Monfetti also has done quite a few good Picard episodes. I'm not sure about Sean. I think he's new. But Christopher's also worked with Terry on 12 Monkeys, I believe. They've worked together there.
That's right.
Now, Jonathan Frakes is directing episode 3 and 4. He seems to always favour 3 and 4 episodes, which should be fun. Jay Maggs and Cindy Appel, also 2 writers returning from season 2. They wrote a couple of good episodes, I believe. They're writing episode 3. Terry Matalas is back again, and Sean Tressa, who is writing episode 4. Episode 5 and 6 are directed by Dan Lau, or Liu. I believe he's directed Picard, if not Strange New Worlds, I think, or at least one of them. Now, Cindy Appel writes episode 5, and Chris Monfetti writes episode 6. For episodes 7 and 8, Deborah Campmere, however you want to pronounce that. She's directed episodes 7 and 8. And also, we've got Jane Maggs writing episode 7, and Matt Okunuma. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm just butchering names there. He's written episode 8. Number 9 is directed by Terry Matalas, so he is directing it himself. And number 10 is also directed by Terry Matalas, which is very nice. Number 9 is written by Sean Tressa and is it Kylie Rosetta? I believe she has written some before. And also, episode 10, the season finale and the series finale, is written by Terry Matalas. And that will air on April 20th, 2023. There you go.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very good.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. Matt Okumura has been teasing constantly about how good this season is. So he's been part of my hype flywheel, or whatever you want to call it. I just made that. It's such a weird hype train. Yeah, it was like, what is a hype flywheel? I just made that.
So Tim goes, lastly, where's Riker and Troy's daughters? I imagine we will learn about that.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe they've left Keshta with that weird bloke at the spaceport, Captain Corelli's.
Captain Crandall.
Captain Corelli.
Captain Crandall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Was that his name, Captain Crandall? I think.
Yeah, I
think so. Yeah.
Funny. Before we sign off, Jack,
yes.
Disco, in a couple of sentences, Disco peak.
Oh, finally, they're doing something different. It's not a galaxy-ending event, finally. Like, honestly, in a serious note, I'm looking forward to Discovery Season 5 more so now, because finally it's something different. It honestly feels a bit like Indiana Jones.
Isn't that different, though?
No, it feels different.
I mean,
well, for once, the world isn't ending.
It's going to be a season... Well... I think it's too soon to say that. I think it is going to be like a big, like the entire galaxy is in peril.
Yeah, quickly, Burnham, we need you to find this.
They're dealing with an ancient power source, I think is how it was described in the synopsis.
Oh,
they're not going to do that. They're not going to do Iconians. They're not ballsy enough to do that. They know I'd storm the offices.
Is it ballsy?
Yeah, it's.
I don't know if it would even be like that ballsy of an idea.
At this point,
I don't know. I kind of feel like Star Trek Online did so much Iconian stuff. I kind of would want them to do something different. But if they need like an ancient civilization,
did Species 10C ever get an actual name in Discovery? Do they ever get a name?
No.
I feel like that's something. I feel like that's something that got overlooked quite a lot. Like they should have like, oh, we are the Cube people, or something like that, or whatever. No, we didn't actually call them that. You know what I mean? It's like they probably should have introduced us. Like, hello, we are the giant squid octopus people.
This current episode of Star Trek Lower Decks made me think of the Takan Empire and the Iconians, because the Ariels. Oh,
the whole Takan Empire thing was a great concept for season 1, which just went completely out of the way. Season 1 story of Picard, I can't remember some of it some days because it's almost like it was a different show. I love Michael Chabon and his writing, but it is feel like it was a different show. At least season 2 and 3 will be a bit more connected. No, season 3 is also throwing out one of the plot lines of season 2, i.e. the Transwarp Conduit. I just sitting there in space.
I think Terry even said this on our stream, where he said like, yeah, that's still there and it could still be addressed. Yeah,
exactly, but it's still throwing it out. Like it's not acknowledging it.
Yeah, it's not like it's not gone or anything like that. There's a guardian at the gate, but
yeah, we just left a Borg ship sitting around. Way.
But I think also one of the neat opportunities, we talked about this with Sam, is that Terry Matalas could actually make a lot of the things just like Disco did with the Picard Golem. There could be like little lines or references that kind of like quote unquote, fix Picard season 1 and season 2 to fit better into the whole saga.
It's if they got time for it.
Yeah. What's that?
It's if they got time for it, really. Like, have they got time to fix?
I mean, yeah, who knows how much?
As well, like, is it worth it fixing at that point? Like, it's the 3rd season. Like, does it really need to be fixed at that point?
Well, I mean, I certainly think there could be like interesting things that weren't like. There were a lot of things that were not explored, like what happened to all his friends, like why, so I don't know, like I think we'll see a little bit of that. Like Geordi seems to be set. Like you brought Worf and Riker into this, so maybe we'll get through dialogue. We'll start to see a little bit of that colored in and stuff like that.
We theorized Geordi was upset because the last time he worked with Picard, things kind of didn't go very well, i.e. Utopia Planitia. So maybe it's like, oh, you've dragged your friends into another wacky adventure. Well done.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. See, so that would be like a nice. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like it would add color and also, or dimension to season 1.
Picard is dragging LaForge's daughter into it. She's the helmsman of USS Titan A. So technically, he's taking LaForge's own family into the mess. Like
yeah, that's true. Still no idea who Geordi's married to, but the children are the same names as 2 of the children that Geordi had in All Good Things, so that's interesting. So those would be the names that he had of the kids he had with Leah, and there were 3 kids, right? In that there was 2 girls and a boy, I think, in All Good Things, but I can't remember right now. And then the last question I have for you is, what was the standout thing from Prodigy's trailer? For me, it's those green shirts. I'm really curious about that green shirt planet. That's really the green shirt planet. But also, there's a ton of things like the Dauntless and everything.
Yeah,
but the green shirt stood out to me.
I want to see more of the Dauntless. Like, I have a raging theory. So is it Jamil? How do you pronounce? Is it Jamil? Jamil? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Jamila
Jamil. Okay, Jamil. Her character.
Which, by the way, she was a riot at the
she was,
panels.
yeah. Apparently, Prodigy's going to blow people's balls off, so that's an interesting way to sell it. Like, Paramount PR must be doing or having kittens with that comment. What is it? Her character, Ensign Senior, one to watch. Mark my words. And that's all I'll say.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's all I'll say for now.
All right, that's it. I'm glad I got my questions out for the other because we were.
Everyone, I've been Captain Jack. Goodbye. No, well, gents, we will round off this conversation here. If that's all right, as it's pretty much of a late one, and I've got a very busy week ahead of me. Terry's just become active on Twitter now. Oh balls! It's where he's available now. Yeah. So obviously, Tex, to sum up New York Comic Con, your experience. How would you find it? Tell us now.
I felt like very very satisfied. I felt like we had like a full plate. They gave us a lot for Picard. They gave us a lot for Prodigy. They gave us more for Discovery than I thought we would get with that teaser trailer. So and that's not even all the shows. There's still like Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds and whatever they're also developing. So so it was a lot to take in, but it's a lot to look forward to. And I'm really, really happy that we'll be back on the Protostar in a few weeks because I've just been dying to get back to Prodigy. So that's the thing I'm most excited for now in the short term, but long term, yes, of course, like everyone else, I'm dying to see this final season of Picard. I personally cannot wait for it. Like, it's gonna be fun, but also when we get to episode 10, it's gonna be quite sad as well because this might be the last time we ever see like the next gen cast fully back together doing this, because Sir Patrick is 82 now. Some of the other cast members are getting on a bit. Like, this is probably the last time we will see Sir Patrick Stewart in Star Trek. End of. I reckon. I don't think we'll see him back again unless Paramount do the movie. Come on, corporate, do the movie. Well, but is everyone going to survive? Is everyone going to survive season 3 to show up?
I thought you meant in real life. I was like, oh, Texas, a bit dark. Christ. Steady on.
I do think.
I mean, that I do too, but.
Echo, Star Trek 6, like they all had their send off one more adventure as
I want to ask Terry if they do the signatures at the end. That'd be great, wouldn't it? It'll sign off.
Yeah, that Marvel stole from us.
Yeah.
Those bastards at Marvel Studios, they stole from Star Trek. We did that first, damn it.
Well, Kevin Feige's a huge fan of Star Trek, and I feel like
he is. Kevin Feige loves Star Trek.
But I think
that's where he learned how to do a shared universe is from watching Star Trek. True.
But I think that after this send off, we'll get similar to like how we got some characters returning in Generations, and throughout the shows like Sulu on Voyager and stuff like that. So I think we'll get stuff like that.
09,
Right. So I think we'll get a lot of that where these characters will show up here and there. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's lovely. It's great.
If you had to pick one next-gen character who is not going to make it out this season, who would it be?
Worf.
I hate this question, but I'm going to go with Fathery's answer. So I'll let you tell everyone Fathery.
I mean, Michael Dorn.
If it's the same answer from last night, right? Yeah.
Michael Dorn has been very vocal about how, like, yeah, it's kind of like a pain in the ass. Like, do the makeup. I'm only gonna do it if they pay me a shitload of money. He also plays a character who, even though like he says he prefers pacifism to combat now, but we know that like Worf would value like an honorable death. He would be first in line to to sacrifice himself. A happy ending for a Klingon warrior would be a good death. So
even
I think if you're gonna kill anyone, it would just even a pacifist. If he died for peace, it would.
Yeah, it's true. Good point.
Especially with what they've established here, where like he's kind of taking on a mentor role with Raffi. So I'm like, oh yeah, so he's gonna like kind of pass the torch down to her, and then
pull a Qui-Gon. She's like his Obi-Wan. I like it.
So I think a Worf death would make a ton of sense. But if you had asked me this a while back, I would have told you like, well, this is probably going to be the end of Picard. Maybe we'll see like the death of Picard, but I don't think so anymore. Just like Stewart's like, yeah, we can come back and do a movie. So
my theory is I reckon Deanna Troi. I reckon Marina Sirtis might be in trouble.
No,
I've got a sneaky suspicion.
No, it would echo all good things. It would be weird that they couldn't escape that fate, but I always thought that Data was the prime timeline sacrifice instead. That took Data.
My reason for this is we also see like Riker, or Jonathan Frakes mentioned that Riker and Picard come to blows a little bit in this season. He's been careful not to spoil it, but like Terry Matalas and a few others have also pointed like Riker and Picard get a bit heated at some point, like something you'd never see in Next Generation, but now because times have changed you can see it, where like obviously they're like similar stature and Starfleet. Yes, Picard is an admiral, but arguably Riker probably is more experienced maybe at this point. I don't know, like obviously he's up there with him and knows him so long, so that they're on the same level essentially. It looks like in the trailer Riker takes command of a Titan and is ordering like all weapons fire, so I wonder if something has driven to him to be a bit more like confrontational to Picard or something, like maybe the loss of someone could be interesting. There's a shot in the trailer of Deanna standing alone.
Right now. That's true. She's doing some kind of thing.
Like,
she
like
says,
a light
I sense like
in front of her. Yeah.
She said something about like deep evil or deep darkness or something like that. It's very
deep
chilling.
darkness on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see how our new villain. I'm really curious about this villain. Like, for me, when it comes to media in general, I always love complex villains. Like, it's why I like Grand Admiral Thrawn and stuff like that from Star Wars. So when we get like a new villain tease like this, I want to see what goes with it and what happens. Like, I want to learn about Vidic and what she's doing and how it's going down. And I want to see more of a Shrike as well, and why it's so unique as a starship and what it possesses.
And let me ask you, Jack, do you agree with me and Starfleet Boy were talking about this yesterday, but do you agree with us that she surely must have some connection to a past TNG story or something, in order for her to have like this revenge motivation against Picard? She's got to have like some type of established connection, as nostalgic as this show seems to be.
Have we seen her ears yet? It's out of interest. I know it's a really stupid thing to say, but like, have we seen her ears?
Because I don't know.
I feel she's Romulan.
A theory she could be half. A theory I've seen is like it's Seela's daughter, like or something like that.
Oh.
And that's why she maybe doesn't like Picard, because Picard most notably foiled Seela at every turn practically. So it's like that could be something there. I definitely think there is a connection somewhere down the line, and it's obviously going to be revealed. But yeah. This is
got regular ears.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it still could be half. Like, it still could be hybrid. Like, genes carry across in different ways, so it's possible.
It's true.
She has a unique facial structure as well, because it looks like she's got like red sort of like veins or something going up her neck. They don't look like cuts, I don't think. They look more like red veins.
There's scars on her face, but they're not symmetrical, so I assume they're just scars. Because if they were symmetrical, I would assume that that's like a distinction.
A ship is also unique. In fact, I think it is a set redress of a La Sirena set, personally, but it looks like
that's what Sam was speculating today.
Hopefully we get Terry on next week, because I want to ask him about the set, because I think the scars, there's going to be some storyline behind there as well. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, we're going to discuss this for like many... How many days? Like, let's just... How many weeks till Feb 16th?
Oh boy!
Like 125 days?
Do you want to? That says a lot. Jack can't type.
Is it days or weeks? We're trying to think of weeks.
No, how many days until 2023? You bastard. 2023. Someone's already probably typed in the chat by now. It is 18 weeks until February 16th, 2023.
Oh, that's not so bad when you frame it that way. That's cool. It's under 20.
And so you say 125 days? It's 130 days. Well done.
I'm digging
And
how my comm badge is like glinting in the light right now.
So, yeah. So 130 days. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we have 13 new episodes of Star Trek between now and then, between what's left of Lower Deck season 3 and then Prodigy right behind that. So plenty of stuff to keep us occupied.
Terry and Dave and the creators of Picard season 3 are interacting on Twitter at the minute. It's hilarious. So Dave Blass said the Shrike, which is obviously Vidic's ship, was a collaboration between Doug Drexler, Drake Zabrocki, and Dave Blass himself. It was a fun challenge creating a new hero ship. So Brian Totsky said, how many designs, ? Terry Matt responds going, you can blame a show on that. He had a vision, idiot. I love Terry's tweets on Twitter. It is hilarious on this. Like, as a showrunner, it's really nice to have him interact quite a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate, and that's the other thing is like a lot of the Star Trek folks do interact and they're very kind. So I feel like we should treat them nicer. I see a lot of awful tweets.
Some
out
people
there.
tagging like showrunners in it and going, it's the worst thing since the plague. I'm like, guys, come on, take a break.
I think people forget there used to be like an idea of netiquette, and I feel like netiquette has gone away.
What's that?
So, at netiquette in the early internet, netiquette was just like a form of etiquette online, and I feel like that's gone out the
manners and politeness on the internet, Starfleet boy. What are you from the Dark Ages? Don't be stupid, you sausage. Like honestly.
Fine. Off my high horse. Off my tall ship.
Can't believe you'd come in here and suggest common sense, honestly. Right, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in to our Trek Central Weekly. Unfortunately, we could not get Terry Matalas this week as he's very busy with New York Comic Con, and rightly so. It's probably a fantastic event for himself and the TNG cast. We will have him on sometime soon, and hopefully we can get more Picard people on as well, as it would be fantastic to have more of them running around. So TJ just sent me a lovely image of the Murph plushie checking out New York City from 100 floors up, by the way. We'll put that on Twitter very soon. Yeah, thank you very much everyone for popping by. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated and become YouTube members this evening. It's greatly appreciated. We're going to have more 100k celebrations coming out this week and next. Bear with us. We're very busy at the minute with a lot of stuff going on as we hit 100k subscribers right as New York Comic Con landed, which was quite funny, but also a little bit inconvenient. So we thank you regardless, and look out for tomorrow's video, which is all about the Enterprise-F, and it'll be me nerding out for a good 20 minutes probably. Text Trek, thank you as usual, and obviously Sohail, Starfleet Boy. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And we'll be back sometime next week. It'll be myself, but it'll definitely be these two fantastic gentlemen. If not, it might be Commander Dom for a change. I've been Captain Jack. If you follow us on Twitter, feel free to come say hello and tweet me your crazy Star Trek theory. And you never know, it may end up in a video or an article. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.